Hello cyclists, have a look. I brought you something interesting today. It's an e-bike from ENGWE and it's called ENGWE. Well, dear cyclists, don't know where to start. Have a look. I mean, this is definitely one of the most interesting e-bikes I present to you. It's from the Chinese manufacturer ENGWE, and I'm not 100% sure what the concept is. Well, it is of course an e-bike, as I said, but it's also a foldable e-bike. But as you can see, it has super fat, big tires. It has a full suspension, a double suspension in the front, and as you can see, there's a suspension here. So it's super comfortable, but would I recommend it's an e-bike to commute, to take the bike on the train? No, it's not. Yes, you can fold it, it becomes more compact, but it's super heavy. It weighs almost 32 kilograms, I think 31.6 kilograms, and it is definitely too heavy to carry the bike around, whether on the train or downstairs into the cellar where you want to store it. But maybe let's talk about the most important facts of an e-bike. It's of course a motor, and this motor is located in the rear hub. I don't know who the manufacturer of the motor is, because ENGWE is not so informative concerning the different parts and accessories. Hello! You also want to have a look on the bike, Kali? But it's a super strong and super powerful motor. It has 55 Newton meters. And the interesting thing is it does not come with a torque sensor. So the moment you touch the pedal, you accelerate to the 25 kilometers in EU. In the US, you can go even faster. But that does mean it doesn't feel like cycling a bike, because you hardly have to pedal. It's sometimes more feeling like a moped. So that also means the different 5 pedal assistant modes are a bit strange. So I would say the first 3 you do not really need, and the 4th and the 5th, then you accelerate super fast, and the Shimano 7-gearing system cannot really hold it. So it felt for me a bit strange, because I was pedaling, and even though I was in the highest gears, I felt a bit like, you know, super quick pedals. Maybe it's a different concept. So if you're not so sportive and more comfortable looking for a bike, this could definitely be interesting for you, because you only have to push the pedal super lightly and you accelerate super fast, because the motor is so strong. I really mean it. 55 Newton meters is a bit ridiculously, but feels also super cool. Well, of course an e-bike comes with a battery, and this battery is located in the down tube, and you can take it out. You can charge the bike itself, or you take out the battery. And the battery is pretty big. It has 624 watt hours. That gives you always, depending on the pedal mode of assist you choose, between 60 and 85 kilometers. Well, I'd say if you cycle a lot in the winter, it's a bit less. I would say then you have like 50, maybe 60 kilometers. Also quite interesting, it is locked with a key, the battery, so just in case you park the bike, the battery cannot get stolen. And there is this little key that you need. A bit like to start the bike, it's a bit like starting the engine of a car. So you have to leave the key inside the bike to start the motor. You have a really cool, that's what I like about the bike a lot, you have a really cool display. It's super bright, and no matter how bright the sun is shining, you can read easily what's happening on the display. I really like the design, to be honest, how the information is provided, and you have all the information you need. So how fast you cycle, what mode of assist you're in, and how the battery is charged. So if you're looking for a lot of smartness, this bike is definitely not the right bike for you. But I mean, you want to cycle, you want to commute, you want to maybe have a tour or cycle a tour, take the bike on a vacation, then you have all the information you need. What I really like is that you do have lights and they are connected to the battery. So there's an extra remote where you can change the different modes of assist, but you can also switch on the front light. And something really cool I really love is you have brake lights. So the moment you brake, the lights in the back flash, what is really cool. So everyone around you, especially the cars, know that you're braking. What is also pretty cool that you can adjust the height of the seat. I mean, that you can do with most bicycles, but when you're pretty large, pretty tall, you can also cycle this bike because it's super comfortable up to a height of 195 centimeters. And the same is with the handlebar. You can easily adjust it. And as you can see, this is like the tiniest size, so the handlebar is almost completely in, and for me it's a very upright sitting position. And in combination with the suspension in the fork and here in the middle, close to the bottom bracket, it is really super comfortable, and it has this big fat saddle, so it really feels like sitting on a sofa and cruising around, and you hardly have to push the pedal. So it's really super comfortable. The bike comes with disc brake, but not with hydraulic disc brakes, but with mechanic disc brakes. And I'm actually not the biggest fan. They work, yes, but sometimes I thought there could be a bit more braking performance. Well, also when you have a closer look at the pedals, yeah, it fits, I would say, to the design of the bike. For me, it's all just too big and not elegant, but it's definitely a different concept. And I told you already, ENGWE for this ENGWE e-bike did choose a Shimano gearing system with 7 speeds. As you can see, it has a regular chain and it is like the cheapest Shimano they did choose. So why did ENGWE choose like the accessories and parts that are not of the highest quality? Well, when you have a look at the price of the bike, it costs 1,299 euros. So it's an e-bike definitely that is super affordable, but of course then you have to really keep in mind that there are some compromises to be made. So it is produced completely in China, and I would say if you do have problems with the bike, it's not so easy to go to every bike shop and replace the components. Or you really have to go for different parts and accessories just in case something is happening. You do have this super robust rear carrier where you can easily put on a basket, or you can use straps and put your groceries or your bag on it. But I mean, the price, 1,300 euros, could be a lot of money concerning how the bike is performing. So I'm not 100% sure how it will feel like in 2 or 3 years' time. Well, now I'm going to show you how to fold the bike. Actually, it's super easy. It's just 2 steps, but there's one thing you have to keep in mind, because the left pedal has to be in the front. Otherwise, it becomes pretty difficult. I would recommend do it, maybe practice it 1 or 2 times, or maybe more often at home, so that you really can easily fold it, because I'd say the first couple of times I looked pretty stupid when I was trying to fold the bike. Also, when you have a look at the whole cockpit situation, you see this massive cables. I mean, I think the solution is quite nice, that it's not looking too chaotic, but it's still also very robust and very present. So overall, maybe this bike, when you have a look, this one is the red version. You can also have it in 2 other color options, in black and in white. It's an eye catcher. It's like you see it from miles away that there's something approaching that looks very more like tanks or a big Jeep. And in combination with the big fat tires, it's definitely a statement. How do you order the bike? Well, you can order the bike online, and then comes a pretty huge package. And to be honest, for me it was definitely a mission, because this bicycle, I needed help to assemble the bicycle. It wasn't so easy, and I have to admit there is more room for information how to assemble the bike, because it's a lot of text and I'm a very visual person. For me it's easier when I have more sketches and also more videos, because there's room for improvement, but I'm definitely sure that they will work on that. I would say if you're interested in a compact bike that is super comfortable, has a super strong motor and a pretty good range concerning the battery, this bike is fun. It is affordable, so maybe as a start, just to see if an e-bike and a compact e-bike is something for you. If you want to commute, this could be interesting for you, because then I would give my thumbs up. But I have to say there's also room for improvement.